Hey, just wanting to do a little video here on the Brook Wireless Fighting Board. Last month, Brook had a little promotion going on where you could sign up and they would send you some products to test that you were interested in. I've always been wanting to try out one of these wireless boards, but for some reason I was a little hesitant. I guess I thought it was a little more complicated than it wound up being, but the people at Brook made it very easy. Normally I use the Brook, just the PS4 Plus board. Very easy. You just screw those straight into a board that you're either building or a stock stick that you bought retail and you're just replacing the PCB of. And then that's it. You just use a 20-pin connector and you connect your buttons and your stick and you're good to go. With this WFB here, it's basically almost the same thing. I thought it was going to be a lot more steps, but all you do is you screw it in. There's an extra little, I think it's a 2 or 3 pin connection. I believe it's just two to plug in a battery to the PCB there so that you can use it wirelessly. And then other than that, there's just a small antenna cable that you pop into the top of the WFB, and then you just put the cable wherever you're housing it. I'm having mine on the inside of this buttercade bomber case here. You guys should look them up on Etsy. You know, John Botero is a great guy. He does a lot for the scene here, and he actually has a nice little housing for this PCB that he worked in conjunction with these guys with. So on the inside you can have everything in one unit. You can have the PCB screwed into the holder that he made for it, and on the side there's also a little spot that holds the antenna. So if you want to have it all inside of an acrylic bite case like this, I got this one 3D printed with the sides opened up in like a honeycomb style to kind of help the wireless signal. Here on PC right now, I don't have Bluetooth capability set up on this PC without adapters, so I am going to show it here wirelessly just to also show that you can use it wirelessly or with wires, you know, because some people I think might be worried that, you know, they want to go to tournaments. You still can use it wired. There's even options like fail-safe options where you can turn it on so that you can't wirelessly connect to anything for a bit. So if you're at a tournament, you don't want to accidentally turn on wirelessly and mess up anybody else's set or mess up your own set and get DQ'd or anything like that. You can function that off and on with a few commands. Usually it's holding some of the punch buttons whenever you're plugging in or disconnecting from the stick. I believe it is holding the 3 punch, and then in conjunction the consoles are PS3 with the 1 punch, and then PS4 with the 2 punch, and then I believe it's the Switch is the 1 kick, and I know that PC is kick 2. So you would hold the 3 punch, and then whichever console that you were trying to connect and disconnect from to trigger that tournament mode, so that you wouldn't be able to wirelessly connect for a little bit until you wanted to again. So there's a bunch of different options like that, and then I don't want to get too much into the delay of the lag and everything like that. I'll include a link to a Twitter user. I can't remember his handle off the top of my head, but he's like an actual computer scientist who does these tests and everything like that. So he has a much more scientific test that he's already done. But basically, the conclusion that everybody has found is that these are already faster than just the PS4 stock controllers. So if you've ever used those controllers wirelessly to play games, which I think most people have, you probably didn't have any issues with it. This is going to be the same thing. Not only that, but even better. You're not going to have any issues playing online with that. What I'm going to kind of do is just set this up to play some matches online here. I'm going to show some wired gameplay first here on the PC, and then what I'm going to try to do is play some PS4 matches, and then I'll try to just download them and kind of edit them into this video as well, and just kind of show that it's the same both on wired and wireless, whichever you prefer to play as. But some people just like that extra security of having the wire plugged in. But honestly, when I was playing, I didn't notice any difference at all. When I was playing wirelessly, I was getting all of my combos. Anything that I was dropping, it was just me, you know, practicing and getting the wrong inputs. As you can see over here, it shows the inputs. Everything is coming out instantly. There's no delay for anything. So I honestly think that these sticks are the future. I think the only reason that you would not want to use this is if you were making a custom stick that had LED buttons or some kind of LED glow inside of the stick that you were setting up just with either Kaimana setup from Paradise Arcade or just like a standard LED strip that you're gluing or pasting onto the inside of the stick in some fashion. If you're doing that, the battery is probably not going to hold up very well. The LEDs basically will probably just eat up that wireless battery. So honestly, that's the only reason I can think of to not want to do this, other than just if you didn't have a case that you think that the wireless connection would go through and you weren't willing to sacrifice an extra connection. Basically, you don't even have to drill extra holes if you did want to use this wireless functionality. Also from Buttercade, that they even sell on websites like Focus Attacks and things like that, if you don't want to go straight through his Etsy Buttercade route, is they do have button sockets even where you can just use one of these button holes on the side or on the front of your stick or on the side to have your antenna sticking out through there. So you can even have that wireless, that wireless antenna sticking out of your stick a little bit to get an even better signal if you're worried about it, or if you just have a casing enclosure that is not supportive really to a signal like that. Basically, the signal wouldn't be able to get out of it; it would just bounce around inside of it. Usually you'd want to use like an acrylic case or something like that if you were wanting to go the wireless route. If you wanted to build a stick exclusively to work as best as possible with that, that's kind of what I was doing with this one. That's what this stick is. It's not only acrylic, but like I was saying, on the sides here, they are kind of just opened up in a honeycomb fashion, and this is the side where my the wireless signal is coming out of whenever I'm playing on PS4. So let me try to get that better in the frame there. So that is working great. I really highly recommend these Butter Bomber cases if you are someone who's kind of looking to make the leap into getting custom sticks. It's really not that bad. I made it a little harder in my head than I thought it was going to be, but he 3D prints all of these parts and he sends them right to you, and then you build it all out. It's really easy. There's just, honestly, I think there's like about maybe 10 screws total, because there's 4 on the top and then some on the bottom. Another great thing he does with these is he included these feet that you can see there. Let me try to get that better in the shot. So instead of having screws on the bottom of these, it just has these feet that have the screws into them on the other side. So the screws are molded into the foot, so you don't have to use any screwdriver to open this up. You can just unscrew the feet, open up the bottom, and then put the bottom back on, screw the feet back on, and you're good to go. Really awesome tech. I really love these bomber cases. It's just little things like that make it simpler and easy for you to build, and then do upkeep, and whenever you need to go in and check the wiring, or if you're trying to change buttons or anything. If you're wanting to go into your stick, sometimes it can be a hassle to get a bunch of tools and things like that, and then also worry about screws falling and losing them and misplacing them. This is one of my favorite small little things that I got with this case. I haven't had anything like that on any previous cases. So hopefully this doesn't take too long here. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna lower the connection. Just trying to get a 5-bar, but it looks like we're not getting anybody. So as you can see, no issues going on with combos. This stick has really been a treat. Pairing it up with this bomber case, and including that housing that they made, the Buttercade people. It's just an awesome combo. This stick has great wrist room, and there we go, we got a match. This stick has great wrist room, and it's just a sweet setup. This is a fantastic option for not only being able to play casually at home whenever you need to, but then also if you want to go out to locals or play more seriously and do anything where you do need that wired connection and you can't have any compromises, you still have that. So it's quite literally the best of both worlds here. You don't really have much to compromise on. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else, but literally the only thing that I can think of coming to my head is that LED functionality I was mentioning. that would be literally the only reason I could think of to not use this. Other than that, like I was saying, I like these so much that I even have another case that I have that I just have everything already set up and wired. I just need to put a PCB into. I'm actually going to be buying another one of these myself just to put into that stick so that I can use it, like I'm saying, wirelessly whenever I want to, whenever I'm just hanging out at home, or whenever I'm taking it out to a tournament, I can plug it in.
I will fight you.
I'll fight this battle.
Let's see how I hold up here. I don't do the best against Cammy, but...
Fight!
Oh, no. As you can see, everything's holding up. All the inputs are coming in. All the lags are going out. No lag, is keeping me from pulling anything off or making it harder to play. As you can see there, pulling up cross-ups, combos, and everything. Not dropping anything like that. Also, trying not to mash to show you guys that, you know, it is coming out nice, clean and smooth. You don't have to mash. You don't have to worry about your timing. You're not gonna have to change anything. You can just play standard. I'm not playing the best while I'm trying to talk at the same time, but this is my first time ever trying to do something like that. But man, these little PCBs are just great. The guys at Brook really did a great job with this. I think the main thing everybody was worried about when you hear wireless is just because it's not around much. This is pretty new for fight sticks. Everybody kind of, I think, has a "this is too good to be true" mentality with it almost at first, and just thinking that it's gonna be a bad quality because of lag and things like that. But as you can see, no, it is quite a joy to play on. Oh, we got a critical. There we go.
Final round. Fight!
Oh, I've never seen that V skill before. It's a cool little anti-air. As you see there, just doing a couple fireballs in a row. You got no issues with this thing at all. Oh, when we pulled out the victory. Oh, perfect for the video. So as you can see, even sitting there while I'm trying to talk and explain things, everything's working so smooth and just effortlessly that I was even able to pull off a win just in a casual online match. Just without practicing or anything, just going straight in. So yeah, that's a little bit of the video. I actually think to keep it shorter here, because I do see it's getting a little bit longer, what I'll do is I'll record a fight with it wirelessly as well, playing wirelessly on the PS4, and I'll include a link to that so you can kind of just see some gameplay with it wirelessly if you want to as well. But I do see here that this is getting a little close to, I think, about 15 minutes, so I don't want to tag another one on here and get close to like a 20-minute video. Just wanted to do that little rundown here. If you have any questions in the comments or anything else that you'd like to see, I was just doing a little rundown here, but highly recommend this. I think if you're looking to get a PCB, or if you're building a stick or doing anything like that, I think this has become the go-to. I think this is the #1 thing you put in your stick if you can. And then, like I said, if you have to go LEDs, that's the only reason I could think of to not do this. Then I would just use a PS4 Plus board. That's what I use in my LED sticks. That's the only reason I mention that, is I make quite a few of those. I have some that have the LED buttons as well as the LED joysticks. So other than that, I think that these are going to become the new standard very quickly. They haven't been out very long, so you're not seeing that much about them. I think you're going to see these popping up quite a bit, though. These are definitely really nice boards.